Okay, hello everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys are fine and you guys are staying safe. So we are back to this session on JavaScript. We are in the playlist of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, where we are understanding the lesson number 50, which is regular expressions. Just let me check if I am live and then we'll get started. Okay, cool. I think I'm live. Let's get started. So, good morning everybody. This is lesson number 50. We are understanding regular expressions, and if you don't know what is going on, if your guys are new here and you have no idea what's going on, then let me tell you about this. So, basically we are CodeBeyond channel where we are providing you free content on front-end development. Not only front-end development, but many of the other domains are also getting taught. So you have to just watch those and see what all things are going on. But for me, front-end development is what I'm taking, and currently I have been taking HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, where you guys are understanding basically how this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript works and how can you create a web page, right? After that, we'll move into the Bootstrap framework and other frameworks of JavaScript and all. So in this session, we are going to understand the regular expressions. Fine. Yesterday, we did some sessions on JavaScript and on some HTML and CSS. We have seen some projects as well. So if you have not seen those particular sessions, please go ahead and watch those. Fine. Okay. Let's get started with this session, which is regular expression. If you do not know about me, then let me tell you about myself. My name is Ritwik Raj and I'm a corporate trainer. I have also worked as a research analyst and subject matter expert in most of the edtech companies. I have 3+ years of teaching experience and I've trained graduates and corporate employees from Recent and Capgemini. I've trained more than 30K students till now. It is increasing day by day. The subject which I take is mostly into front-end languages, back-end languages, databases, and mostly into full stack development, right? And I do also take tips and tricks and guidelines to how to crack interviews, whether it's virtual or face-to-face. I have a very good news for you now that you can use my code RIT10 that can get you a free Relevel sample test paper. Now, if you do not know what is Relevel, then don't worry. In 1 minute, I'm going to introduce you to. But if you know Relevel, then you must be knowing that there is a test that you have to give. And if you have no idea what kind of test will be there, then this sample test paper will help you a lot. So this sample test paper will tell you which kind of questions can be asked and how the questions will be distributed, right? So please go ahead and use this coupon code IT10 to get your free sample test paper. Okay. Now, the people who don't know what is Relevel, then let me tell you about it. Now, many times what happens, candidates are from different background, let's say BSc, BCA, and BCom, some other field, and they want to jump to IT sector, right? So that is one of the problem. The second problem is maybe their college is tier 3 college and most of the MNC companies do not come there to get the students get interviewed and hired. Now all these problems are not your problems, but it is there, right? Now you have applied to 50-60 companies, but still you're not getting interviewed, you're not getting called, right? There comes Relevel. It is India's first test hiring platform by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream jobs. You can get a job based on your skill and talent. How we are going to judge on the basis of your skill and talent? You have to give a free test. Now understand, again and again I'm saying that it's a free test which you have to give. This will be of 1000 marks and you have to score above 700. If you score above 700, you are going to get a passed and we will get a profile for you. That profile will be shared with most of our client companies, like our 50+ companies, including top startups and unicorns like Upgrad is with us. So you will get interviewed by them and then you will get placed. Cool, right? Suppose if you are not scoring more than 700, no worries, after 30 days, you can reattempt the test, right? So there are 1000+ job positions across business development, front-end development, and back-end development. You have a great opportunity to get placed right now, right? Now, to attempt this test, which is for free, you should get an idea which kind of questions will be asked, right? So that's where you need to use the coupon code and it will help you a lot. So let me tell you how you will sign up to this and how you will register yourself in Relevel, okay? So basically when you will see the video, right, which video you are seeing right now, you can see in the description there's a link, right? If you click on it, it will go to relevel.com website and there you have to sign up. Once you click on sign up, it will ask for a mobile phone and then your OTP. Once you do all those things, then it will take you to this particular page where it will ask to choose the skill set in which you want to give the test. So if suppose your skill set is on front-end development, choose the front-end development test and click on select. Then you have to book a slot when you want to give the Relevel test. Slots are limited, so I suggest you to book it fast. And then you have to fill in all the details for your admit card. So you have to fill in your full name, email ID, birth year, current state, and gender, and then use the coupon code which is RIT10 here, and then click on apply and click on create account. Your account will be created. It will look like something like this, and then you will get the sample paper somewhere here, right? So once you open this sample paper, you will be able to understand that what kind of questions can be asked in the actual test, so that it will be really helpful for you, right? So this is how the steps are there to register in Level. So do not wait, go ahead and do it right away, right? If suppose you have already registered, then all the best for the exam. If you have not registered, then go ahead and do it, because as I said, slots are limited. And also, if you're not willing to do it, let's say that you don't have the skills right now and you're just a beginner, you just know C programming language and you do not know anything else, you want to upskill yourself, then go ahead to CodeBeyond channel, look at the videos, look at the playlist. There are a lot of sessions which are happening, and a lot of educators are taking it, right? So somebody is taking DSA, somebody is taking CP, somebody is taking Python, somebody is taking SQL, I am taking Frontend Development. So there are a lot of things which is going on, correct? So it will be really good if you can go ahead and upskill yourself, and then when you are ready, you can register yourself. Fine. Also, please join the Telegram channel, which is given the description. In the description, the link is given below, so you can go ahead and click on it and join the Telegram channel, because here all the notifications will come when I'm coming live and when other educators are also coming live. Also, the code files will be shared in this Telegram channel as well. Please do subscribe the channel, which is CodeBeyond, and also please like and share if you are liking the session. Okay, so let's get started with today's topic, which is regular expression, and let me open the Visual Studio Code. This is also called as regex, and this is nothing but regular expression. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me show you my Visual Studio Code. So I hope you can see it. This is our Visual Studio Code. I'll just drag it somewhere here. Okay, so I hope you know that yesterday what all things we did. We created some mixed projects. We worked on part 1, part 2, part 3 in all the different parts. One second, let me just connect my charger. In all the 3 parts, the 3 sessions we took, we did a lot of projects, right? At least we did in one session 2 projects, and we understood 6 projects by then, right? So yesterday a lot of things have happened, and we have understood how HTML, CSS and JavaScript works, right? But when it comes to JavaScript, right, it's not only limited topics, just like how we have in HTML, we have limited tags, right? In CSS also we have limited properties. But in JS, it's not like that. JS is ever evolving, right? So you will never feel like you have done with JavaScript. You know JavaScript. No. Right now, you only know the basics of JavaScript, right? So if you want to learn JavaScript, you have to keep it continuous learning. Even if you're working someday, let's say after 1 year you are working, or maybe after 2 months you're working, you have to still be consistent with JavaScript, because that is ever evolving. Okay, some new topics will come every month, every year. So you have to understand JavaScript is not a language which is having a full stop. It is having a various variety of topics, and it's not gonna never finish. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to cover all the utmost important topics right now, and then we are going to finish it. Okay, so this is regular expression which we are seeing right now, and let's understand how this regular expression works when we talk about this. Okay, so firstly, regular expression is a sequence of characters that forms a search pattern. So if you have a text or if you have a string and you want to search something, then we need regular expression. So let me close this, let me create a new file, and let's say regex.html. okay, I'm going to put this. One second. So here we are writing understanding regex in JS. Fine. In the body, we are going to write we're going to write the code. Okay, but before that, let me make you understand by using only one example, and let's understand what is that. So First of all, what we are going to do is we are going to understand it with one example, and we are going to understand what are the different methods which we use. Okay, so there are different methods which we use to use or show regular expression. Okay, first of all, regular expression does not contain any method. Okay, but to show regular expression we use some methods. So that is and search and replace. Fine, these are the two methods. We have one more method which we'll see later on, but right now we'll only use search and replace. So if we write a code here, let's say that I'm writing here one second guys. Hi, good morning Amit. Okay, perfect. So let's get started now. ID demo. So we are going to have here this one, right? Only just the PID demo. And then what we are going to do, we are going to print something here. So let's say we are starting with our script. Okay, now in this script, let's understand what you are going to write. So let's say I'm just having one text here. Let's say I'm writing good morning. This is the text which I'm providing. Okay, fine. This is the text which I have given to my text. Next, what I'm going to do, let's say I'm taking one variable x and I'm saying that from the text, it has to search one of the element, and the element is, let's say, students. Okay, so it has to search what? It has to search the element where students is written. Fine, and I'll just print it. Let's say I'm saying document dot get element by id. I'm going to just say here demo and dot inner html, and here I'm going to just write x. So what I'm doing here basically is I've written a text good morning students, and I've said that to the x variable, from the text it has to search at what position students get started and whether there is a student or not. So what I have to do, let's go back to the browser first of all, and let's open it with live server. And now you'll be able to see that it says 12 here, right? It says 12 here. Now why is it saying 12 here? Because maybe my text where this particular student is written, that is in 12th position. So let's check it out. So if you look here, good morning is basically 12. With space, it's 12, right? So it's starting from 12th position. The student's word is starting from 12th position. That's why it is telling me that. Suppose if I remove this capital S and if I write a small s, right? What's going to happen? If I save this and if I go back, so you can see here, it says -1. If you can't see it, let me just zoom it. It says -1. Why is it? Because there's no match for that students. Okay, there's no match. Students, this is case sensitive. JavaScript is case sensitive. So it's not going to understand where you have written this students. This small lowercase students is not there at all in your program. That's what it is telling me. Fine. Now what I'm going to do, you understand, yesterday I was explaining one of the program and I used regular expression there, right? And I used here something called as I. Now what was this? Basically this was making the word or the letters case insensitive, right? So we used I, and we also used one more which was G, right? Which was global. So let's see what happens now. So if I go to my browser and if I save this now, okay, one second, come back. So the problem is here I have given a double quote. It is taking it as a string. Now it will not take it as a string. The students is a particular word, and to that I have applied an regular expression. So if I go back now and if I save this, so you can see it saves 12. In fact, you can see that I've used lowercase s, then also it is giving me the answer as 12 because I've written I here, right? And global, you know that global will be if the word is repeated, then it will tell you that. I'll explain you that also, but I think yesterday I already explained this, right? Now let's understand. Let's say I want to use replace. So what I'm going to do, let's say I'm commenting this, and down I'm going to write something else. So let's say I'm writing here, let x equal to text dot replace. This time I'm using replace. Now here what we have to do, we have to write the word first. So let's say I'm writing the word as students, which should be replaced by the word candidates. Okay, so I'm just replacing the word students with candidates. So if I go there, if I save this, so it says good morning candidates. Okay, so it's not saying good morning students. This is what is another method, which is replace. Okay, let's come back. Right now, have a look what we have done till now. We have used replace, we have used search, right? In search we have used in case sensitive, right? What if we use the same way here in our replace, whether it will work or not? Let's see. So I'm just making this as a students. I'm going to remove this double quote from here also, and I'm going to put here I. Okay, so students, again it is taking a small s, that is lowercase s, and I want to change it with and candidates. Let's see whether it is working or not. So let me go back to my browser. Let's save it. It is working, right? It is giving me the same output, good morning candidates. That means it is understanding that we need to replace students with candidates, correct? That is how you work with regular expression with I and with two methods, search and replace. But it is not only that much. We have a lot of other things. Now, when we talk about a lot of other things in regular expression, we actually have a lot of things, okay? And to understand all of those things, we have to write so many examples. So basically, we'll start with first modifiers. Sir, why only in -1 when not found in it can return any number in negative? Why only -1? See, basically in binary numbers, what do we have? 0, we say that is false, and in 1 we say true, right? In JavaScript, if somewhere error is there, right? So either you will not get anything in the browser, or either you will get -1. Okay, that's how JavaScript tells that there's an error, or there is some mistake. Okay, so either you will not get anything printed in the browser. I have shown you those examples also in the beginning of the playlist. And from 2 days, we are also seeing that it is giving me -1. So whenever it searches for the element, right, when it doesn't get that element, it says -1 because it is not being able to find it. So it's kind of a rule, you can say, which JavaScript has. It's nothing like any number it can give. No, it will give -1 only. That is how JavaScript developers have developed JavaScript. Okay, coming to regular expression, modifiers. So this is called as modifiers, which we are using right now. So we have used I, we have used G, and one more is M. Okay, so I is basically performing case insensitive thing, right? So I'm just going to write it here. Case insensitive matching. Okay, this is for case insensitive. What is this? What is G? G is basically for a global match, right? Global match means if you have written duplicate values, so it's gonna get changed into duplicate values also, that I'm going to show you right away. And M is basically multi-line match. Okay, Himanshu Saini, hello. After doing front end, can we get jobs from Relevel? Yes, you will be able to if you will do some projects and if you'll understand how things are working, right? So just watching my videos will not help you. Watching my videos and then doing it on your own, spending time with JavaScript or HTML, CSS with your own self, that is also gonna help, right? So once you are ready, you have to go ahead and give a test, right? You know that in Relevel. So when you give the test, you have to be prepared. You have to be knowing that this particular Relevel test is 1,000 marks, and what is the syllabus, what are the type of questions which will be asked. If you can clear that, then it will be done, right? You can get a job. So case insensitive, global match, and multiline match. Let's understand how this global match works. So if I write here, good morning students, and how are you students? I'm writing this much. So now I have two places where students are written, right? Now if I do this I, and if I say students, let's see what is the output. So let me just comment this, because this will again take it as code, so I don't want that. Let's go to the browser and let's save this. Let's see what's happening. So if I go back, you can see students changed is only happening, the replacing is only happening to the first word, which was the students. To the other student word, nothing is happening, right? So it's not a global match. This is only for the first place where the matching is happening, right? So if I want to do it for the global, what we should do? We should come back and replace this with G, okay? And I'll just replace this with S, capital S, right? G means global match. So what I have to do, I have to just save this and I have to go back, and you can see good morning candidates and how are you candidates. So anywhere, wherever students will be written, the students will get replaced with candidates. So it will be really useful when you're writing a paragraph or something where, you know, repetition of words are there and you want to change those words. It can be with names also, right? Suppose you have written a different name, you have written a wrong name. So then also you can change this. Good morning, Lewis. Let's come back to the code. So this we have understood, right? We have understood how global match works. Now what we are going to do, we are going to understand multi-line match, okay? To understand multi-line match, we will write another example. So let's say I'm putting here, let text equal to, I'm going to put here /n, which obviously you know that it gives you a new line, is something like this I've written, okay? I'll make you understand why I've written like this. You understand multi-line match, right? That means there are so many lines. There are 2-3 lines. So I've written here /n. Can we use both ing together for case insensitive and global match? Yes, you can. You can. And then replace, right? And then you can see here, I have written a new line here, right? So this is space th will be in a new line, and this is space it question mark, this will be in a new line, correct? And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write let x equal to text dot. Now I'll be using a different method. So let's understand what is the different method. We have used search, we have used replace. The next one is match. Now here it's basically gonna match the text which I'm writing. So I'm going to write here slash, and I'm going to give a power symbol, and I'm going to say is /m. Now understand what I'm doing here. Basically, you know that what I'm doing. We know that I'm giving a global match here. Can you see? That's how I give I and G also. That's how I've given. So I've given M. That means multi-line match. That means in all the lines, it has to match whether is written somewhere or not. What is this power symbol? I'm going to tell you later on. Okay. Right now, just understand what is. Is a word which it has searching for. So if I go back and save this, you can see here it's giving me the output is, right? That means this is getting matched from the text. From this text, this is there in the text. Where is it? You can see here. This one, not this one, because that is a capital letter I. if suppose if I make this is also as a small letter, let's say I'm keeping it as a small letter, and if I save this, one second. Oh, okay. So have a look here. If you look at this now, you can see that it is not showing me anything, right? Why is it not showing me anything? Because both the letters, both the is statement is having a capital I. Okay, that's why. And I have not written a global match. So it's not, even if I write here small I, and even if I write the small I, it's not gonna make both the things changed because I've not written global match. I've just written multi-line match, right? So suppose if I write here small I, okay, and let me save this. If I go back, so this is coming because of the first is this one, not because of this one. That is only coming because of this first one. It's only matching with the first appearance of that word. Okay, not for the other one because you have not mentioned it as global match. Fine. So these are the three modifiers which we have used: case insensitive, global match, and multi-line match. All the three are different in their own perspective. Case insensitive makes it insensitive with the case. Whether you use lowercase or uppercase, it's gonna understand that the same word you are referring to. Global match is finding all the duplicate values and changing it. Multi-line match is basically for matching if it is in the new line, then also it will match it. Suppose if I write here, I am not writing M, and if I'm writing I, so that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for the new line. Okay, so you have to write M for matching it with the multiple line match. Fine. Now, after using modifiers, we have to understand how we can use patterns here, regular expression patterns. Okay, so in patterns, we have different kind of patterns. We have ABC, then we have numbers, let's say 0 to 9. And the next which we have is X pipe Y. Okay, now what are these patterns? Basically, to search the patterns, we use this. I'll tell you what is how it is, how we write this. Okay, so let's first understand the ABC thing. So what I'm going to do, let's say I'm putting here let text equal to, let's say hi Jitendra Singh. If you write G, it can work for multi-line. If you write G with M, it's gonna work for multi-line. Okay, that means, see, G is a global match. Global match means it's gonna globally match all the words, not only the first one but all the words. So if you're using global match, that means G with any other particular modifiers, it's gonna work. Okay, so but understand the meaning separately, individually, what they do. What you have written is wrong. If you write G, I don't know how you're asking this, but G is not for multi-line. M is for multi-line match. G will work if you use it with that. Now, in this text, what I'm going to write, let's say I'm writing here, is this all there is? This is what is the text which I've written. One second, let me put it up in a double quote. Okay, so this is what I've written, and I'll also put one X, and I'll say here text dot match. And now what I'm saying, I'm using here global match with the bracket, square brackets, and I'm saying here global match. So what is the word which I am using here? I'm using H. What I want it to do, I want it to tell me that how many times this H is coming in your text. So as you can see, when I'm clicking this H, this is showing me 2 times. One is in this and one is in there, right? So let's see what it is giving me in the output. So if I go back and if I save this, it's giving me 2 times H comma H. That means 2 times H is appearing, correct? So if I go back here, 2 times H is appearing here, right? Let's say that I'm writing here S. Okay, and let's save this. Let's go back. It's giving it 3 times. So it's finding where are your words and how many times is it reappearing. So one S, second S, and the third S, right? Let's say I'm putting here AL. Let's save this. Now you can see here what's happening. I'm putting two letters here, right? A and L. So both will be separately find out. If you see here, if you look up for A is only at one place. But if you look up for L is at different places. We have 2 places where L is there separately, right? So do not understand that this square bracket will take multiple values. If you're thinking that I'm writing AL, so it's gonna search AL together. No. If you look at the output, it is telling me A, L, L. So individually, it is searching for all my letters. Okay. Suppose if I write here ALT, so again, it's gonna search for A separately, L separately, and T separately. So if I save this, you can see here in the order it is telling me. That means first T has been found, then A has been found, then L has been found, and then again L has been found, and again T has been found. So individually it is searching all the letters for me, right? That is what is this square bracket which we have seen. Okay. Similarly, what we can do, we can search for any numbers. So let's say, is this all there is? My roll number is 24658 something. Okay. So I have now written the numbers here, right? So let's say that I'm putting here not ALT or any kind of word, but I'm just putting here 225. Okay. Some digits I have given here 225, right? Now here you can see that I have written some random numbers here, right? It's gonna not search for my letters here, but it's gonna search for my numbers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my browser. I'm going to search this. You can see 24354, right? All the numbers are in between 2 to 5, correct? I've written 6 also, but it's not showing me 6 because in the range I have not written 6, correct? So you can see here 2463546, and it's giving me the answer 24354. So it's removing the 6 and everything else it is giving me. So that's the range. What happens if I write here just 2? I'm just writing 2. So if you can see here, it's giving me 2. Okay. Let's say, what if I'm writing the repeated number? So instead of 2, I'm writing 4. Okay. If I save this, you can see 4, because 4 is duplicated. If you look here, 2 was not written twice. So it was only showing me one time. But when I wrote 4, 4 is written twice here. One is here and the other one is here. Let me close this. Right? That's why it is giving me 4, 4. Okay, one more thing. Let's say that I'm writing here A till H. A till H. So if I save this, what's going to happen? Have a look. From A till H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. If any of the letters are getting repeated, you need to print it. So it's printing H, A, H, E, E, B, E because all these letters are getting caught or matched from the text. So there are 2 types. Basically there are 3 ways, okay, what we have understood. First way is basically that you can write a single letter, right, or a single number to find that particular number or a letter. Second way is to write a range. Whatever range you will write, whether it's a number, whether it's in a character or a letter, that will work. The other way is to write the words. So if I say here 2 and 6 and 4, okay, 2, 6, 4. I have not even written a range, but I have written an individual number. If I save this, you can see you will find only 24646. Okay, this is not a range, this is just finding the number. So there are 3 ways which you have understood, right? So I'm just going to write here 3 ways. 3 ways, right? First way is just to write the letter, one single letter, right? And then the another way is to write the range, by using a dash, you can write a range. And another one is to write the individual letters. Any letters you can write, let's say something like this, right? Similarly, there are three ways in the numbers also, right? I hope you don't have any doubts still here. Let's move ahead and let's see this alternative option. So this X pipe Y is nothing but alternative option. So let's say in this example, what I'm doing, I'm going to write here this pipe there. Okay, now this pipe there, what it's gonna do, it's gonna do a global search for any of these specified alternatives. Okay, so if this is there, it's gonna print this. If there is there, it's gonna print there. Okay, right now in my example, as you can see, both the letters are there. So let's understand how it's gonna print this. If I go back, if I save this, you can see here it's giving me a letter wise sequence. One second, why is it giving me letter wise sequence? You can see here when I was writing here, I have given a parenthesis, not a square bracket. So it is not working like, it is working like in this manner. That's why it's giving me a letter wise sequence. So understand, when you're giving a square bracket, it's gonna give you an individual output. Either it is a number or a letter. The output will be always a single individual letters or numbers. Okay, when you're using square bracket. When you're using parenthesis, it's gonna give you a whole word, or you can say bunch. Okay, these things you need to remember. Regular expression is something like that. Okay, so here we should not use square bracket, instead we should use parenthesis. Okay, let's go back again. Let me just check if it is working. Okay, so have a look, it is working. It's showing this there, right? Now it is only showing one time because my words are only used one time. I have only used here this and here there. Let's say I'm putting here there, and somewhere I'm just writing this. Okay, let's save this. And if you now look at this, you can see this, there, this. Wherever these words are getting found, it is printing me that, right? So there's no range, there's no single word, there is two words, okay, which we are finding. Let's say that I'm writing a word which is not there in my text. Let's say I'm writing here Ritwik, which is not there in my text, right? So have a look what is happening. It is finding this, so it is printing this. It is not finding Ritwik, so it is not printing that. That is why I'm saying that this is doing a global search for any specified alternatives. So either this one, if both is there, then both. What if I'm writing a different kind of word here, which is not there in my text itself? If I search this, see, I've written th, right? I've not written a different word, I've written th. If you search for th is there. Th is here, th is here, th is here, th is also here. 4 places th is there. So it's giving me th. Ritwik is nowhere, so it's not giving me Ritwik. Come back, let's remove this also, and let's write something else. Let's say Raj, which is not there in my text. If I save this, there's no output. Cool. So now we have understood the different patterns how to write. Don't worry, what will happen is these all modifiers and patterns which we are learning, this will be later coming in use. All the brackets and all the different kinds of letters which you're using. So that's why I'm writing it here, so that you will have a area where all these things are written. Okay, so first you have understood modifiers. There are 3 modifiers, I, G and M. There are different patterns. Inside patterns we have different like ABC or digits or alternate. So let me write here alternate. Okay, and we have different brackets. For square brackets what should happen, and for normal parentheses what should happen. If you understand till here, let me just write here brackets. So pattern is done, bracket is done. Now we will see meta characters. Okay. Now meta characters. Now in meta characters, there are different kinds of characters which we need to understand. Okay. So first one is D. This is for basically to find the digit. The next one is S. Now you must be knowing what is this for. Not in string. This is white space character. The spaces basically, even if one space is there, it's going to understand that there's a space. So I'll tell you how this works. Now next is B. So B is basically beginning of the word. Okay, and the next is U, and this is basically for hexadecimal numbers, but this generally nobody uses, so we are not going to use this. Okay, we are not going to use it. Generally this is of no use because in hexadecimal numbers we don't want to print anything. But digit, space and beginning of the word, let's understand how these things works. Okay, and then we'll move into the quantifiers. So let's come back here. Let's say the text which I'm giving here is, let me comment this. So I'm going to use here one of the digit, right? So let's say I have to put some sentence which is having the digit. So let's say I'm putting my roll number is 10852, something like this I have written. Okay, and document.getEnd by id. Before that I have to print the values. So I'm going to use here let x equal to text dot we're going to use match. To this match we will use the global itself, but this time we have to use D. So I'm going to use something like this. Okay, so now you can see, don't worry about these symbols. You can understand that G, whenever we do use this kind of forward symbol, and this is what is the backward where you're using D, right? That is how it is written. Okay, so do not get confused between these two. Now what's going to happen if I go back to my browser? I save this. If I go back, you can see 10852, right? So it's giving me individually all my digits. Wherever it is seeing that digit is found, it is giving me that, right? Let's understand what's going to happen if I write here, if I don't write here any digit. Okay, let's save this. Obviously it's not going to give me anything. It's empty. Let's say what happens if I give here S. S is for white space. So if I save this, you can see what's happening. It's giving me a comma and a comma. Now understand why this is giving me a comma. So here before comma there is one thing. Before comma there is something which is invisible. Again after comma there is something which is invisible. Again after this second comma there is something which is invisible, right? So when do you give comma? You have two words. So in between the two words you give a comma, right? Right? So if I have two commas here, can I say that there are three words? Right? If there are two commas, can I say there are three words? There are three words, right? So if I go back to my code, you can see here there is one space. There is one space here. Right? So that's how it is working. And also let me show you one example for this. I think this example is perfect. So you can see here that there are three spaces. So it's giving me two spaces. It's gonna give me one less. Always gonna give me one less. Even if I write something else here, let's say my roll number is Ritwik. That's what I've written. So I have how many white spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So if you look here, 4 means 4 spaces. That means 3 commas, right? So have a look. 3 commas. Okay, if you're not understanding why is it not giving me 4 commas, understand in between the commas there is a space. So if you have in total 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 4 spaces will be explained how? Space, comma, space, comma, space, comma. So how many commas are there then? 3, right? So how many spaces are there? -1 will be the amount of commas in your output. Okay, so do not get confused here. Fine. That's what is your space, the /s. Now we are going to understand the next one, which is beginning of a word. Okay, so in the beginning of a word, this is something which is really important. So understand how this is gonna work. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this to search. Okay, I'm going to write here B, beginning of a word, and to this beginning of a word I will give some words so that it can understand, okay, this is from where this is the beginning of the word. So I'm going to just write R. Let's say I'm writing R. So what are the words where R is the beginning of the word? Role and Ritwik, right? So let's say I am saving it. So is there anything else? Yeah, okay, let's have a look. So where is my browser? Yeah, so you can see here it's giving 3. Now you're not understanding what is this 3, right? Have a look. I changed something here. I changed the method here. I did not write match, right? So understand, when you're writing replace, it's gonna replace the words. When you're writing search, it's gonna give me the position of the matched letter or word. When you're writing match, it's gonna give you the words or letters itself. So understand this, that when you're using search, it's give you the position, the number position. So number position is 3. If you look here, M is 0, 1 is Y, 2 is the space, and 3 is what? R. So R is getting caught at which position? At 3rd position. If I write here match, what happens? Let's understand. So if I write here match and if I save this, you can find here it's giving R comma R. And what have I written in the description? I've written match will give the words or letters itself. So it's giving me the words and the letters, which is R comma R. Why 2 times? Because there are 2 times where R is written, role and Ritwik. Right? Replace is separately a different function which replaces the words. So here we can't use replace. Right? So understand these 3 methods clearly. Okay? We have replace method, search method, and match method. We are right now writing search, and let's say I'm putting here RI. Okay? Let's save this, and you can see here that the output is 18. Now it's not 3. Why? Because it is finding RI together. Okay, so it's finding RI together. Where is it finding RI together? Here. If you reach till here, the position of this is 18. What if I'm writing here also RI? What's gonna happen? If I save this, it's giving me again 3 because it is matching the RI at the earliest, which is here. That's why it is giving me 3. Fine. Suppose if I okay, what else I can do? Okay, let's see from the ending part. 1 second. Let's say I'm not writing here the B tag. Let's say I'm writing here IK/B. Okay, so what is this? What is the meaning of this? This means that after IK there should be a new beginning. So if I save this, here you can see what is it is saying. It is saying 7. And understand why it is saying 7, because this is 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's where ik is coming, right? That's why it is giving me 7. So beginning of the word, that means where this ik has been found, it's gonna give me the position of that. So it's giving me 7. Fine. So this is how my slash b also works. We have seen slash d, we have seen slash s, we have seen slash b. That's all about it, right? Now let's move ahead and let's understand what is quantifier, because this is really very important. So quantifiers are nothing but all the symbols. So I'm going to show you what are quantifiers. So the 4 things we have seen today. We have seen in regular expressions what are the methods which we use. We have seen what are modifiers. We have seen what are patterns. We have seen what are brackets, and we have seen what are meta characters. Now we are about to see what are quantifiers. Now, and this is very important. Quantifiers is very important in your regular expression. So I'm going to use here these 3 symbols. Okay. Now these 3 symbols are called as the quantifiers. When you use n plus, right, it matches any string that consists or contains at least one n. The word which you are writing, that if you are writing p, then at least one p. Even if at least one n is there, it's gonna match it, it's gonna give you the output. Whereas n star is what? Matches any string that contains 0 or more occurrences of n. Now this is really very important. It's not 1 or more, it's 0 or more. So even if n is not there, it's gonna print that. Okay, I'll give you an example, don't worry. But understand that this is not 1 or more, this is 0 or more. The next one, it is matches any string that contains 0 or 1 occurrence of n. So these are the 2 places where you will find difficulty, n star and n question mark. But let's use one of the example and let's understand what is this. So we have 3, n plus, n star and n question mark. So what I'm going to do, let's say I've written this particular statement. Hello students, comma. Then again I'm going to write hello orders. Okay, and let x equal to text dot, I'll not use search because search is going to give the position. I want to match the letters, I'm going to use match, and here I'm going to give, let's say I'm giving here O plus, and I'm going to get a global match, right? Now also one more thing, whenever you are using match, right, you can use here global. In search you can't use global. Why? Because in search what happens, it gives you the position. So if you do global, how it's gonna give you the multiple global positions? It can't, right? So in search we can't use global, but in matches we can use global. So we are using global here, which is O plus. O plus is saying what? At least one n. That means at least one O. So I have here O, I have here O, I have here O, right? Let's understand what answer we are getting. So if you see here, we are getting 3 O's, right? So at least 1 O. So we are getting at least 1 O, okay? From every places wherever matching is happening. This is what is your O plus. Let's understand what is O star. So I'll use the same example. I'll just change this to star, right? And this is what? 0 or more occurrence, correct? So 0 or more occurrence, you have to understand what it's gonna give me. If I do here, let's say I'm using this only. Let's save this. Let's go back to my browser. You can see here what's happening. 0 or more occurrence. More occurrence, it is showing me O. Everywhere, wherever O is there, it's showing me. But what is 0? 0 means that where it is not there, then also it's gonna show me. So in after all letters, I'm getting a comma. It's not printing me all the letters, but it is telling me that in these places zero occurrence is there. O is not there, but there is zero occurrence. That's what it's telling me. Suppose if I change the code, suppose if I'm writing here, let's say I'm writing here 3 O's here, and that's it. 0. Okay. So I've written O star, correct? Let's have a look what happens. Let's have a look directly in this, okay? I've written 2 more O's I have added. So in my output also 2 more O's should be added. So you can see 2 more O's are getting added here, correct? Now let's understand what's going to happen if I write here LO star. So now it's not only O star, but now it's LO star. So 0 or more occurrence. More occurrence means LO should be matching, not only O, but LO. So let's have a look. If I save this, can you see what is happening? It's now you will not understand anything, right? Now it's something else. Why is it giving me something like this? Let's understand. LO is there, right? When you're searching for LO, zero occurrence means even if it's just L, please print it. So I have L here, it is getting printed. I have another L with all the O's, that's going to get printed. The next L is here, and the next L is LO. That's what is getting printed, right? So either you print L alone, or either you print LO with O. So that is what is 0 or more occurrence. 0 is when there was no occurrence. LO is not there together anywhere, right? So that is 0. These are for 0. More occurrence is this one. Okay. So that is what is a 0 or more occurrence. If you have not understood this, don't worry, because now you'll understand. So suppose if I'm writing double LO, let's save this. Let's go back. Can you see now what is happening? 0 or more occurrence. So only those places where double L0 is not there and it's there. So you can see double L0, where is it? It's here. And because I've written it together, so it's not going to separate it. It's match, not search. Match will not make it separate. So double L whole this is coming and whole this is coming. Nowhere else can you see double L. Can anywhere else you can see L? No, right? So it's not gonna print that. Suppose if I mention here LO, then what's gonna happen? A double LO. You can see one more double LO is coming here. Okay, so this is what is 0 or more occurrence. The next one is basically a question mark. So let's say I'm removing this and I'm putting here a question mark. This is what 1 or more occurrence. If I save this, you can see here 1 or more occurrence, right? That means even if it is one time, you have to print it, correct? Remember what it was happening when I wrote here multiply. When I wrote here multiply, you can see here what's happening. These 3 O's are together, right? Even in my code, these three letters are together. That's why it is taking me 3 things together. All the other O's are individual. This is individually, this is individually, this is individually. Correct? So it shows me after a comma, all these things, right? But these 3 are together, correct? So this is more occurrence. This is more occurrence. And what I'm using a star. So more occurrence. 0 means there is nothing. So the commas are the zeros. But suppose if I write here question mark, that means one occurrence or more occurrence, correct? So even if there is one occurrence, which is this this O is one occurrence, it's gonna print it. Again, individually, this is one occurrence, it's gonna print it. Again, one more occurrence, it's gonna print it. If I save this, you can see there is a comma between these 3. So all O's are now individually coming in. Why? Because question mark will match 1 or more occurrence. So one occurrence for every O and more occurrences are also there. Wherever O will be matching, it's gonna give me that. So question mark is really very simple. The only hard one is the multiplication, because that is 0 or more occurrence. So you need to have an understanding of what is 0 or more occurrence and 1 or more occurrence. This question is really very famous in all the JS interview questions. In regular expression, if they are willing to ask you questions, they will ask you what is the difference between n star and n question mark. Okay, so n star is 0 or more occurrence. Give you an example. N question mark, that is contains 0 or more occurrence. What is an example? So this thing will be asked to you in your interviews. Okay, that's totally about the regular expression. I hope you have understood what is regular expression and how do we work with it. Okay, we are again coming up with the next session at 12:15, where we are going to understand CSS. We are going to see transform, transition and animation. So be there at 12:15. We are going to understand how to transform into a 2D and a 3D, and how to rotate our paragraphs and div elements into a different angle. Okay, that's what we are going to see at 12:15. I hope you guys are understanding this telegram, this regex, and please join the Telegram channel so that you can join and you can get all the notifications of when I'm coming live and when all the other educators are also coming live. And also the code files will be shared here. Thank you so much for this session, and please hit like, okay, and please subscribe to the channel, which is CodeBeyond, so that other people will also get to know that this content is for free, and very descriptive informations are getting taught here. Okay, so please like and share. I'll meet you really soon, just around at 12:15, and we'll start studying transform and transition. Fine. Bye bye guys, thank you so much. That's all about regular